So, I'm stuck. I have a decision to make. I either send it with the thrust bearing surface having some grooves in it like that, just a little bit, nothing too major, or send it with my main journal looking like that. Not the best. I don't know what to do. What's going on YouTube? So we're back with another update on our Civic, and sorry for no video last week. I lost my phone and everything on it, and the whole thing is just gone. So as you can see, we got the engine in the car. It does run and drive as is. Everything is all right there. I've ran it under boost. I've done some pulls on it. I've been driving it around for about a week now. But whenever I went to take it to the dyno, we had a problem. Whenever I took it to the dyno, we would press the clutch and the RPMs would drop down. So we were like, what the heck, that's not right. So we went ahead and started the car up. We checked over here in this little peephole right there. You could see the flywheel and everything. And so we shined the light in there. Had the car started up, somebody would press the clutch and we could actually see the flywheel moving. So that told us that the crankshaft was moving, and before we did any dyno pulls and had crank walk issues, we wanted to go ahead and take care of that. So what I did was pulled the car obviously back in the garage, jacked it up, dropped the oil pan, swapped out the main bearing, or not the main bearings. The main bearings were fine. I swapped out the thrust bearings, which are in here somewhere. There they are. So here's the thrust bearings that were in the crank, or in the block rather. And as you can see, there's the wear side on one of them, and there's the wear side on the other. So this one you can see some actual normal wear and tear. This one you see some weird looking wear, like what the heck. So let's flip it over. That's where all the wear is. Now that's the back side that's supposed to face the actual girdle, and it wasn't. It was facing the crank. Whenever I rebuilt the bottom end, I didn't look at the thrust washers. I took the girdle off, saw all the main bearings were new, and then just trusted that whoever replaced the main bearings replaced the thrust washers and installed them correctly. It's my fault. I should have taken the liberty to go ahead and replace the thrust washers, or at least looked at them and flipped them around the correct way. So it is my fault. I had to depart, learn my lesson. Don't take shortcuts. Don't trust other people's work. Do it right yourself. Verify. If it's not verified, it's wrong. So learn my lesson there. I tried to, like I said, save it, put the new thrust washers in because I have a brand new set of main bearings. So I threw some new thrust washers in. It felt a little bit better for a while, but I think that backwards bearing took its toll on the crank. I did find some radial scoring on the actual crank surface itself as well. And so that pretty much tells me the crank is trash. I tried getting away with it the best I could, just slapping the bearings in there like I said, but it's still, like I could start it up right now, pressing the clutch and show you guys, it drops the RPMs down like 500 RPMs. It's pretty bad. So before we get any crank walk and take out the entire block, I'm going to go ahead and take the whole swap out yet again. Gotta drop our trans, take the engine out. Thankfully we have a crane this time, so it should come out all together. Throw it on our stand, take the head off, flip it over, take the girdle, take the crank out. And then I found out over here on our old block that we actually have a full H22 setup. I know for every video up till now I've been saying it's an H23. That's just because that's what I was told before from previous owners. I didn't know for sure because I never actually looked stuff up. I just went off the word of the people that had it. So if we look, here are the pistons and rods that came out of that block. And well, we can see, let's pick out our juicy one that's still intact. So this guy, nice little bend, nice little arch to him there. That was cylinder number, what is it, 3? Yeah, because cylinder 4 is the one that actually broke. Cylinder 3 was this guy right here. And if you look down here, it says P13Z. So that's H22 rod. That tells me that the crank that's in that block is also H22. And since we use these same bearings in both blocks, I'm going to go ahead and say that that crank will go right into here, because I'm pretty sure they're both 50mm cranks. They're both OBD1 engines. This one, I don't remember what year it is, but H22A, it is the early one. It's got the really thick rods. Oh, it's 92. And then this one, it had the thinner rods, but I know it's 50mm mains. So we're gonna go ahead, zap off this girdle, take the whole crank out. Like I said, take everything out of here, put the crank in there, all the bearings, brand new again, so on and so forth. As you can see, the old one, like there's some heat marks and stuff, but really, all in all, the bearings aren't bad. Like, but yeah, so stay tuned. Plenty more to come. Sorry, I thought we were done. We were getting so close. The car was done. It was running and driving. It wasn't hitting VTEC though for some reason, but I'll go ahead and put up some pull videos of just me self-tuning it. I'm trying to learn how to tune as well, so I've been doing a lot of street tuning on this thing, just trying to get it to run right. Alright, so I got everything apart here. Transmission, engine, oil pan is off. And if we look, why is everything so washed out? Oh, that's a little better. So, I can't see. You can kind of see the crank is all scored up there. So these are our new bearings that we put in. That one right here, oh, there it is. That one right here was the one that's toward the clutch. As you can see, it's destroyed. This one still looks brand freaking new. So swapping out the cranks, because as you saw, that one is scored a bit, but we got a problem. So this crank was the one that was in our last block. And what happened was, this guy right here, cylinder number 4, broke. Like, just, it broke. Straight up, just left the chat. It's gone, out of here. The bearings are but yeah. This guy, cylinder 3, was bent. Cylinders 1 and 2 were fine. So if we look at our main journal here, you see it's all grooved up. I can't catch it with a nail, but I could definitely see it. It's kind of sketchy. You could also see some metal debris in there. So this was the bearing that came off of that one. It's crushed. It's like flaking off. It's destroyed. But on the flip side to that, the thrust bearing surface is phenomenal. There's no play in this crank whatsoever. So I don't know if I should just send it. You know, more grooves is just more clearance for oil, right? Obviously try to clean the metal up as best as I can. Or if I should just try to get a new crank, because this one, as you can see, we have our forged rods and pistons and whatnot else in here. And I don't want to hurt it again. There's too much money in this block for me to just be throwing away. So it needs to be done right. I don't know if I trust that one, because this one, all the journals are phenomenal. It's just that thrust bearing surface. Oh, there we go. We cut out the light. And look at that. You could definitely see it's all chewed up, and that I can feel with a nail, like pretty bad. So I don't know. All right, sled update. We got a mess on our hands. Got 2 oil pans, 2 girdles, 2 of pretty much everything. This is the new block we picked up, the A1 closed deck that had the good crank. All the bearings look good, but so were my original bearings. So we're just sending it with the bearings that were already in the car. Here's the other side to them. And of course I just lost all my studs, but yeah, there you go. Put these guys back in here. Okay, so got that. Oh, this one. There. Okay, so got that. We took our old crank out. That's the new crank. Here's our old one. And you could see that surface for the thrust bearing, it's scored up. You could really see it good over here on this side, but that's chewed up pretty bad. Our new one, you can see, get some shade here. There we go, nice and shiny, looking nice and new on both sides. The only problem is we done used up all of our thrust washers. So we got that good one that's still brand new. We got that one that's but I don't want to reuse these because, I mean, got too much money in this thing. The main bearings I don't mind, the rod bearings I don't really mind because they still look decent. There's like no scoring in them or anything like that. It's just black because it's old oil. I still got to clean them off, but it's whatever. So they look fine. Thrust bearings, obviously don't want to reuse those, so I do have to get new ones of those. But then we could slap our girdle on, put our rear cover, 2 of them. Whichever one looks the best, I guess I'll use. That's the oil pan we had on the car. I don't know if I'm gonna reuse that one or if I'm gonna use this one. The difference is that is an F23 oil pan, that is an H22 oil pan. The F23 has a deeper sump so it could actually hold more oil, which I thought would be good being a turbo car. However, it's such a low car that it scrapes on the oil pan. So I would pick that up and show you, but I don't wanna make a mess. That one is all banged up and scraped up on the bottom, whereas this one is a little bit shallower, and they both already have drains on them. So I don't know what kind of drain this is. It looks pretty rigged up, but I don't know. We'll figure something out, I guess. Worst case scenario, we can use the other one and then just raise the car up a little bit. So that's probably what we'll do, just so that we could have the benefit of more oil in the sump, as well as lifting the car up so that we have more clearance for our tires, because we are probably going to get bigger tires as well. Yeah, just a little update. There's the original block that was on the car with the 2 windows, the stock stuff. There's the broken rod right there. I was going to use this crank, but it's all chewed up over here on the main bearing between cylinders 3 and 4. So that's actually probably what caused the failure, is that bearing failed, the main bearing failed, and then it snapped the number 4 rod and it bent the number 3 rod. So that's probably that failure, but I don't know, I guess we'll never know. Now I'm working on getting this guy in here. Like I said, I need the thrust washers. I have all the main bearings in there. I have all of our rod caps here, exactly how they came out of the car. So yeah, stay tuned guys, plucking away at it. Didn't plug in my O2 sensor. Let me do that real quick. Oh no! Fuel leak, fuel leak, fuel leak, fuel leak, bad fuel leak. Whoa. Okay, that sucked. Big old fuel leak right here. Okay. Wow, look at that big giant puddle. All right, we gotta tighten that up a lot. That was bad. Whew. Well, good thing we caught it. All right, fuel leak fixed. Let's try again. Looks promising. There it is. We lean. I think we gotta calibrate it. Yeah, we gotta recalibrate our O2 sensor. There we go.